Hello friends, welcome back to my next show. Today we are peeling back the smoke and mirror behind the recent drama along Afghanistan-Pakistan frontiers. Two neighbors, a long contested border, and a ceasefire that feels more like damage control than peace. We will walk you through what happened in the past week, the human cost, the leadership questions, and a takeaway at the end that you don't normally find in headlines. Friends, mid-October 2025 saw heavy skirmishes along 2,600-kilometer border between Pakistan and Afghanistan after accusations of cross-border militant attacks and airstrikes inside Afghanistan. Between 10 and 16, as per UNO, at least 18 soldiers killed and 360 wounded on Afghanistan side. Afghanistan claims as many as 58 Pakistani soldiers were killed in overnight border operation. But Pakistan confirmed only 23 soldiers' death and 29 injured in border clashes. October 17th, a suicide attack inside Pakistan killed 7 troops. And the very next day, Pakistani airstrike on Afghanistan's Paktia province killed at least 10 civilians, including children. On 19th October, finally, both sides met in Doha, mediated by Qatar and Turkey, pledging to respect a ceasefire and refrain from further hostilities. Friends, on paper, it's neighborly diplomacy, two countries, talks, and ceasefire. But looking deeper, the logic seems backward. The military clashes escalated first, then diplomacy followed. Why did Pakistan's armed forces enter so heavily into cross-border action that resulted in soldiers and the civilians' deaths, and now requires outside mediation? The strategy appears reactive, not proactive. For Afghanistan, decades of war have hardened both state and non-state actors, but Pakistan launched strikes. Afghanistan's narrative of resilience gained ground. Though a ceasefire feels like face-saving, and the real peace would require agreements before bombs fall again. We'll go through the casualties once again. Afghanistan side, at least 18 killed, 360 plus wounded. Pakistan side, 23 soldiers killed, 29 injured. And then in a later attack from Pakistan, 10 civilians on Afghanistan Paktia killed. Border closed, disruptions, trade freeze, and local displacements followed. For Pakistan, accepting mediation after heavy losses undermines its image of regional strength. For Afghanistan, it flips the script, appearing resilient again against incursion. Economically and socially, both nations suffered heavily, as key crossings like Chaman and Tokham remained shut. Millions lost on both sides of the border. This is not diplomacy, it's damage control. A powerful neighbor entered a conflict it did not define and ended in a ceasefire that looks more like an exit ramp than a solution. A state going to war with its neighbors must first ask itself why and for what long-term outcome. Leadership is not about launching operations, but knowing when not to. Once casualties mount, diplomacy becomes reactionary, and the wiser side is often the one that holds back. For Pakistan, this must trigger reflection at home. Are these conflicts for national benefit or only the institutional optics? For Afghanistan, it shows that restraint and endurance can win diplomatic strengths. Friends, here's a takeaway. When you march across the border in war and then rush to talks to patch the fallout, you don't emerge a conqueror. You expose the fragility of your strategy. And in that moment, the weaker side often looks wiser.